We're asking two religious leaders about voting and whether ballots should be linked to faith. Joining us are Monsignor Massie, pastor of Sacred Heart's St. Stephen Church in Brooklyn, and his friend Rabbi Brad Hirschfield, the president of the National Jewish Center for Learning and Leadership. Thank you both for being with us.
Great to be with you.
So let's start with what should Catholic and Jewish voters pay attention to when making their election choices? Monsignor, let's start with you.
Okay. You know, I guess one's faith really does affect how one lives and decisions that one makes all of the time. But when it comes to voting, I think even the United States Catholic bishops have made a statement just on this question. And they tell us that we need to form a conscience, have a Catholic formed conscience, meaning that a conscience is not something that says I could do whatever I like because I feel that way, but rather what is the church saying about these issues? What is the scripture saying? How are you being led to do this?
Rabbi, what about you?
So I think where we absolutely agree is that for people of deep faith, and I want to be clear, at least for Jews, I don't presume that all Jews need to bring a deep faith into their politics. But if one brings deep faith into the rest of their lives, there's no reason it shouldn't be present with them in the voting booth as well. There is, however, a profound difference between the principle of separation of church and state. And in addition to that, there's another notion, which is not religion and state, which must be kept separate, but faith and politics, which means our most deeply held beliefs should always shape our lives, with a significant cautionary note.
I want to talk about party lines. Some people of faith may support Democrats on many social issues like immigration, and then Republicans are likely to get backing from voters who are pro-life as well as pro-Israel. Are there religious voting blocs now? Rabbi?
There probably are, and it's not good for religion and it's not good for politics.
Right.
The assumption that one is only pro-life if they, now fill in the blank and I don't care, think about it, my way, think about it, your way, if there's an our way, that's a very small concept of pro-life. The same thing could be said for pro-Israel or anything else. Once any significant policy becomes my way or the highway, typically all that happens is the most extreme elements of society, on whatever the issue, control the day. And that never works out well for anyone except the most extreme elements.
Monsignor, is there anything you'd like to add?
I would like to make a comment on that. You know, one of the things you have to realize is that you have to be also concerned when you're voting about the dignity of people, of humanity that is, about the structures in which our humanity lives. So the family, the schools, the communities. The common good, you know, the common good is living that moral life in the public square, and also solidarity with the rest of the world. But this idea of you bringing faith to certain things, you know, one of the questions I have there is, yes, there's a separation between church and state, but is there a separation between religion and state?
Well, listen, that's faith and politics.
Yeah,
I don't think there can be for people of deep belief. Common good is a great term, though. The one thing almost all Americans agree to is they're concerned about the common good, and they think the other guys who don't agree with them aren't. Yeah. So the first thing we're going to have to do is widen our conception of common good to include those who we don't think is commonly so good.
Really quickly, what if a voter says that they just can't decide and so they're not going to go out and vote? What do you have to say to them? Quickly, Rabbi?
Look, I think voting is a sacred obligation whether you believe in God or not. I absolutely understand not wanting to vote, so go write someone in.
Right.
Monsignor.
I mean, I vote because I'm an American, and I have a right to do that, and I think many people have suffered for that right. And I think that, yes, writing in something, you have a voice, and then you also have a voice to complain, too. If you don't vote, then you have no complaint either. So I think it's very important to vote.
Lively conversation, debate, a key point in a thriving democracy. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us.
Thank you.
Monsignor Massie, pastor of Sacred Heart's St. Stephen Church, and Rabbi Brad Hirschfield, the president of the National Jewish Center for Learning and Leadership. Thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell to get instant updates about all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.